waking up to a moderate but steady rainfall here at our house. You can see the little river there running down. That drains the upper part of the neighborhood. We frequently, in heavy rain, see this kind of runoff. There's the hot tub. Coming up here onto the hot tub deck, get a little bit better view of what's coming down here. This runs right down to the creek that runs behind our house. At this point, it's backing up a little bit right here behind the house, behind the deck. And as we move a little bit closer to where the creek actually comes closest to our house, it is now coming up out of the banks. If you can see that tree right in the center of the screen and then that bush, the creek is supposed to run directly in the way that I'm pointing my camera right now. But as you can see, it's running this way. It comes out of its bank and runs down here behind the house a little bit. This is a normal overflow pattern for us. And then it runs right back to the creek, which is there here. Now we're starting to get water coming up to over the beds where the bushes are here, and it's running up under the deck some. Again, we have seen this much water before, and one of the things that it tends to do is from the side of the house back over here is it runs down the side, and some of it runs up under the deck. But most of the water comes this way, and if we continue to have this kind of rainfall, the drainage down below, which is down below us, has not only not been improved, but probably has deteriorated over the couple of years with development. The water will probably come up to the house. Hopefully it won't do what it did last May, the May of 2016, and start running up over the deck and coming into the house right here. That was the first time in 25 years that it had ever done that, and we'd received significant rainfalls over the course of that time. And I believe it has to do with the development around us, which you can't see because of the trees, but the major development that's gone on around us over the last several years that has removed a lot of the area where water can just seep into the ground and replaced it with concrete, and it still drains into the little creek and watershed area here that we have that drains our property. Consequently, upstream, including us, doesn't drain as well, and the potential for house flooding is greater. Anyway, we're all okay. We're just kind of keeping an eye on things, hanging out at the house. If the water comes in, it will probably just get a little bit of a wooden tile floor wet that we don't want anyway. So, and we do have flood insurance. So we'll just, we are riding this out because there's actually nowhere else to go. Well, this is about 5 minutes later than my previous video, and I walked down on that step that's now coming up, has water washing over it. The creek has expanded all the way over there and is covering the backyard right now. I'm thinking about trying to take some measures to prevent water from coming in the house in the only place it ever tries to come in, and that's right along here, which is on our deck. And if the water gets up and much higher, it'll start flowing over the deck right there and flow across the deck in an attempt to get back to the creek and try to go through our house to do that. We're about 130 miles from the coast and about 150 miles from the center of circulation. This is about 10 minutes later than the most recent video, the second video I posted, and you can see that the water has come up significantly just in that length of time. So flash flood warning here for us is no longer a warning, it's flash flood reality. So far we're in good shape. The water hasn't gotten up to the level of the lower part of the deck yet there for the hot tub. It is up to almost to the steps here. On that step, it's over this step in the middle of the deck right here, and it's over. You can't even see that lowest step because it's the water's kind of muddy. If you look up here, you can see the breezeway of our house. Up there's the cars in the driveway. The water's running well up into the yard. It's not engulfing the air conditioner yet, but it's coming up to the side of it. And the water is still running quite swiftly. It's very wide at this point, and there's a lake forming in the side yard over there.